Hello everyone, today our topic is how to add multi-product BigCommerce order details to Google Sheets. So here our objective is that whenever I get new order with multiple products in my BigCommerce store, then I want to first find that details of order and product, and then I want to add these details automatically in my Google Sheet. For that, we will create an integration between BigCommerce and Google Sheets. For creating this integration, we are going to use Pabbly Connect, which is an amazing software for automation and integration. In Pabbly Connect, we are going to use trigger and actions. In trigger application, I'm going to use BigCommerce, and in action application, I'm going to use first BigCommerce, and then I will use Google Sheet. So how I am going to create this integration? For that, let me take you to my computer screen. I hope all you can see my computer screen, and today we are going to see that how I'm going to create an integration between BigCommerce and Google Sheets. So here I want to add the details of orders that get placed in my BigCommerce store with multiple products, and I want to add these details automatically in my Google Sheet. So this is my BigCommerce store, and in this, whenever a customer make an order of multiple products, then I will capture those details and I will add these details of multi-product in my Google Sheets. So for this, we will create an integration between BigCommerce and Google Sheet, and for that I will open a new tab and search for pabbly.com. And this will take us to this landing page of Pabbly. Here we have two options, sign in and sign up for free. If you don't have any account with Pabbly, you can just sign up for free, and it will take only 2 minutes of your time and you will get hundreds of tasks free every month. Or if you already have an account, you can just sign in, and this will take us to this page, and here you will see all the apps that Pabbly offers, and we are going to use Pabbly Connect here. For that, I'm going to click here on Access Now button under Pabbly Connect, and this will direct us to the dashboard of Pabbly Connect. Here, this is the workflow section, and we can see all the workflows that we will create here. And this is the folder section. We can create new folder here, and we can save any workflow in any particular folder that we want. Now we want to create a new workflow. For that, I'm going to click here on Create Workflow button, and this window will pop up. Here, I have to name my workflow, so I'm going to name it as my objective, which is to add multi-product BigCommerce order details to Google Sheets. And I'm going to select the folder where I want to save my workflow. So I'm going to open this tab, and I'm going to select my folder, which is home, and I will click on Create. And this will take us to this most important window of our workflow. Here we have two boxes, trigger and action. So these are the two main principles on which our workflow works on. And trigger says when this happens, action says do this. So trigger is going to be the first step that will get executed in our workflow, and action will just follow that. So we need to set up our trigger, and here my trigger application will be BigCommerce. So I'm going to select this. Now I have to give a trigger event. So I'm going to open this tab, and in this, new order created will be my trigger event. Now I will connect BigCommerce with Pabbly Connect. So I'll click here on connect. I'm going to click on add new connection, and to connect my BigCommerce account, I have to fill these details. So I need client ID and the access token, and I also need store hash key. So for these details, I have to go to my BigCommerce account, and in this I will go to settings, and in settings I will scroll down and I will see this API settings. So I'm going to open the store level API accounts. And here I have to create an API account. So I'll click here on create API account. So first I will give the name to my API account. So I'm going to name it as testing. And now I have to give auth scopes. So for this, I will go back to Pabbly Connect. And in this, I have to select all these auth scopes. So I'll go back to BigCommerce, and I will modify all these scopes. First, I will select modify in this content section. Then the customers, information and settings, orders, and the product. So I have modified all my scopes, and I'm going to click on save. So it has given me this client ID and client secret and access token. So I'm going to copy this client ID first. I will go back to Pabbly Connect, and I'm going to paste my client ID here. Now I need access token. So I will go back to BigCommerce, and I will copy this access token. I will go back to Pabbly Connect, and I'm going to paste it here. Now what I need is I want a store hash key. So I'm going to find this store hash key in the path URL of my BigCommerce account. So I'll go back to BigCommerce, and here in the path URL, we have this link. And in my link, after this store dash, I have this key. So this is going to be my store hash key. So I'm going to copy this. I'll go back to Pabbly Connect, and I'm going to paste it here. So I have filled all my details here. Now I'm going to click on save. So my connection here is successful. Now I'm going to click on save and send as request button. And it is waiting for response. So to get this response, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my BigCommerce store and I'm going to make an order. So I will go to my store and here I have these 3 products. So I'm going to add all these 3 products in my cart and this is my cart. So I'm going to modify the quantity of my products. So I'm going to buy 3 of these mobiles, 2 of these hair dryer and 1 of this webcam. So this is my grand total. So I'm going to click on checkout. And now I'm going to do payment and I'm going to fill these details and I'm going to fill dummy details here. So my email will be tamuser@pabblytudes.com. I'll click on continue. Now I'm going to fill the shipping address. So my first name will be Damo, last name will be user. I'm going to fill my address. So my address will be random. My city will be Bhopal and my country is India. And now I'm going to give the postal code. So my code will be, so this is the random postal code. I'm going to click on continue. And now I'm going to make a payment. So this is in a test mode. So I'm going to give a test credit card number. So this is a test credit card. I'm going to give dummy expiry date. So the name on my card will be Demo User and I'm going to give a random CVV. I'm going to click on place order. I'm going to click on continue shopping. So my order is placed. Now we'll go back to Pabbly Connect. And here we can see I have received this new response. So in this I have this data ID. So this is my order ID. So now what I want is I want to get the product details and the order details. So for that I'm going to use this order ID. And first I will get the product details. So for that I will add my actions tab. I'm going to open this tab. And here my action application will be BigCommerce. I'm going to select this. And now I have to give an action event. So I'm going to open this tab. And in this get product by order ID will be my action event. So I'm going to select this and I'm going to connect BigCommerce. So I have already built a connection. So I'm going to use the existing connection. So I'll click here on save. Now I have to give the order ID. So I'm going to map this order ID from the response that we got from BigCommerce earlier. So I'm going to use mapping here. And what mapping is a technique through which I can retrieve the data from the previous tabs and the data that is changing will get replaced with the new data in the real time. So for mapping, I'll click here. I'm going to open this response of BigCommerce and this is my order ID. So I'm going to map this. Now I'm going to click on save and send as request button. So here we can see we have received these details of my product. So we got these details in the array format. So all the details are combined and we are going to change this in the further steps. First, we will get the order details. So I'm going to add another action tab. And in this, my action application will be BigCommerce. So I'm going to select this. I have to give an action event. So I'm going to open this tab. And this time, get order by ID will be my action event. Now I'm going to connect this again. I'm going to use existing connection. So I'll click here on save. I'll map the same order ID. So this is my order ID. I'm going to click on save and send as request button. And here we got this order details. So this is our subtotal, which is 31,450 rupees. And this is our first name of customer, which is Damo. Last name is user. This is the address, random. City is Bhopal. This is the zip code. Country is India. And this is the email address, damouser@pabblytudes.com. So these are the details of our order. Now in the previous tab, we can see we got this product details. These details are in array format and we want to separate these details. And for that, I'm going to transform this data. And I'm going to use a tool that Pabbly offers, which is a data transformer by Pabbly. So I'm going to add another actions tab here. I'll click here on add actions tab. And here my action application will be data transformer by Pabbly. So I'm going to select this and I have to give an action event. So I'm going to open this tab and in this line itemizer will be my action event. So what this is going to do is this is going to convert line items JSON to comma separated text values. So I'm going to select this and I'm going to connect this. Now I have to give line item array and here I'm going to map those product details. So I'll click here. I'm going to open this response of get product by order ID and I'm going to map this response. So this is my line item in array format and I'm going to separate these values with comma separated values. So I'm going to click on save and send as request button. Now we got this response. So these are the ID of our product. This is the order ID and this is the product ID. And in this is the name of our products. Similarly, we got the base price of our products. And these are the quantity of our product. Now we have separated our details and we got the details in comma separated values. But what we want is, we want to add these details in our Google Sheet and we want to add these details separately. So I'm going to replace this comma in these details and I'm going to add a new line. So for this, I can use another tool that Pabbly offers, which is text formatter. So I'm going to add actions tab and here my action application will be text formatter. So I'm going to select this and here I have to give an action event. So I'm going to open this tab and replace text will be my action event. So I'm going to select this. And I'm going to connect text formatter by Pabbly. Now I have to give my text. So let's go to my Google Sheet. And in my Google Sheet, what we need is, we want the quantity, product and the unit price and the total amount of our products. So I'm going to separate these details by text formatter in Pabbly Connect. So let's go back to Pabbly Connect. So in the text section, I'm going to map the details of the required field that I want. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to open this data transformer by Pabbly response. First, I'm going to use my product's name. So I'm going to select this. Now I have to give the find value. And in the find value, I'm going to give the text value that I want to search and I want to replace. So I'm going to click here and I'm going to give a comma. So I'm going to find the commas here in my text and I'm going to replace it with a new line. So for the new line, I'm going to give a / and type n. So this is a code for a new line. So I'm going to replace this comma with the new line. So I'm going to click on Save and Send Test Request button. And here we can see in the result, we got these details and this has replaced the comma with the new line. So we got our text in the format that we want. Now similarly, I'm going to add another actions tab and I'm going to use the same action application, which is text formatter. I'm going to select this and I'm going to give the same action event, which is replace text. I'm going to connect this and I'm going to follow the same steps. So I'm going to map my text. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to open this data transformer by Pabbly response. Now I'm going to separate that quantity. So I'm going to search for my quantity here. So these are the quantity of my products. So I'm going to select this and I'm going to give my find value. So my find value is comma and I'm going to replace it with the new line. So I'm going to give a / n and I'm going to click on Save and Send Test Request button. So we got this result. So I have separated the quantity. So I have separated my quantity value. Now I'm going to add another actions tab. And now in this actions tab, I'm going to separate the values of base price. So I'm going to use text formatter again, give the same actions tab, which is replace text. I will connect this and I'm going to map my text of base price. So these are my base price. I'm going to map this. My find value will be comma. Replace value will be / n. And I'm going to click on Save and Send Test Request button. And I got this response of my base prices. Now I'm going to add another actions tab. And this time I'm going to replace the value of total price. So I'm going to select text formatter. I will give action event. So my action event is replace text. I'm going to connect this. I'm going to map my text. So these are the value of total price. Now I'm going to give the find value, which is a comma. And the replace value is / n. And I'm going to click on Save and Send Test Request button. And we got these values. Now I have separated my values and I have got all the required details that I want. And now I want to add these details automatically in my Google Sheet. So for that, I will add my last actions tab. And in this, my action application will be Google Sheets. So I'm going to select this. And I have to give an action event. So I'm going to open this tab and add new row will be my action event. So I'm going to select this and I'm going to connect my Google Sheet with Pabbly Connect. So I'll click here on connect. I'm going to click on add new connection and I will sign in with Google. Now I'm going to click on allow to give access to my account. And my connection here is successful. Now I have to select my spreadsheet. So for this, let's go back to my Google Sheet. So this is my Google Sheet and I'm using BigCommerce multiple order details spreadsheet and we are using sheet 1 and I have all these columns. So my columns are of customer name, order ID, email, quantity, product, unit price, amount. So I'm going to map all these details in Pabbly Connect. So let's go back to Pabbly Connect. So I'm going to select my spreadsheet. So I'm going to open this tab And in this tab, you will find all the spreadsheets that are connected with your Google Sheet account. So I'm going to use this BigCommerce multiple order details. And here we can see all the details have changed according to my spreadsheet. So I'm going to fill all these details and I'm going to map all these details. So I need the customer name. So I'm going to click here and I'm going to open this get order by ID response. In this, we have the first name and the last name of our customer. So I'm going to map my first name first. I will give a space and the last name. So this is my customer name. Now I have to give the order ID. So I'm going to click here. I will open this get order by ID and this is my order ID. So I'm going to map this. Now I have to give the email address. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to search for my email address here. So this is the email address. So I'm going to map this. Now I have to give the quantity. So for the quantity, I'll click here. And for the quantity, we have used text formatter by Pabbly and we have separated our quantity. So I'm going to open this response and we have this quantity. So I'm going to map this. Now I need the product name. So we have separated our product name too. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to open this response of text formatter by Pabbly. And these are the details of my product. So I'm going to map this. Now I need the unit price. So I'll click here. I'm going to open this text formatter by Pabbly response. So these are the unit prices of all my products. Similarly, I will map the amount of my product. So I'm going to open this last response of text formatter by Pabbly. So these are the amounts. So I'm going to map this and I'm going to give the total amount. So I'll click here. I'm going to open the response of get order by ID. And in this, I have this total amount. So I'm going to map this. So I have filled all my details in this. Now I'm going to click on save and send as request button. And here we have this positive response. So this means that I have added these details automatically in my Google Sheet. Now to check this, let's go to Google Sheet. And here we can see I have added this new row. So the customer name is demo user, order ID is 103, and this is the email address, which is demouser@pabblytunes.com. So these are the quantity of my product. So I got the order of 3 Mob 11i and 2 of hair dryer and 1 of the webcam. So these are the unit prices and these are the amounts. And we have this total of 31,450. So these are the same details of the order that we had in my BigCommerce account, and I have added all these details of my multi-product order in my Google Sheet. So our integration between BigCommerce and Google Sheet is working successfully. And here I'm adding all the details of the multi-products orders that I'm getting in my BigCommerce store automatically in my Google Sheet. So let's go back to Pabbly Connect. And here I have created this integration between BigCommerce and Google Sheet, such that whenever I get multi-product order in my BigCommerce store, then I will add details of those multi-product orders automatically in my Google Sheet. So let's summarize what we did here. First, I have set up my trigger, and my trigger application here was BigCommerce, and my trigger event was new order created. Then I have set up my action step, and in this I have used BigCommerce as my action application, and then I got the product details by using the action event as get product by order ID. Then I have used the same action application, BigCommerce. In this, I have used action event as get order by ID. Then I have changed the format of my response of my product details by using data transformer by Pabbly. In this, my action event was line itemizer. Then I have separated the required values that I want by the new line to add in my Google Sheet. And in the last, I have used my action application as Google Sheet, and my action event was add new row. So this is how I have successfully created this workflow. And you can also create this workflow by following all the steps that I did in my workflow. And I'm also going to put the link of my workflow in the description, so you can check it out from there. And thank you for watching this video. Not just these applications, you can automate and integrate a lot more applications like this using Pabbly Connect. If you need any help or if you have any doubt, you can email us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can post them at forum.pabbly.com, or if you have any issue with the pricing of Pabbly, you can connect on this link. And if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.